Hi Nidhi, welcome to Zoom.
Thank you.
Border 2 is releasing in just a week, and this film is more than just nostalgia or just a film to so many people. It acts as a tribute to the Indian Armed Force who are constantly on the border protecting us so that we are living a normal life here. Uh, did you feel the weight of this film while making it, or when you greenlight this film?
Like I keep saying, I didn't set out to make Border 2. I set out to tell stories of the armed forces. This was a responsibility that was actually given to me and Dad a few years ago by the late CDS, Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat, who we lost unfortunately. Few months before he passed away, he had actually had a meeting with us in Delhi, and he had told us that there were about 21 or 22 stories that of our heroes, our brave hearts, that he really wanted to make films on or bring to the audiences to the youth of today. Of course, I was very intimidated with that task at that point, and I still remember him in that room, just him, me, and Dad, and it's as if it was yesterday. And Papa said, "Sir, I'm 71. मैं कैसे बनाऊंगा?" And I still remember him saying, "कोई बात नहीं दत्ता साहब, ये बना लेगी." And at that time, it was something that was so said so casually. Little did I know that I guess that was my destiny being written by him sitting there, and I would lose him in a couple of months. And about a year or so later, after him passing away, I revisited those 22 stories, and I knew that there were a few that had to be told and could be told together in a certain way. And when I realized that they were from the 71 war, it was it was natural that I would call it Border 2, because the first film itself has let people believe that Longewala was the only thing that was 1971, which it's not. It was one battle out of the entire war. There were so many more battles that were fought. So this film brings to light the fact that 71 was way bigger. This brings to light that it was the first war that was fought by India, where all her three forces fought together. Something that's on the internet, but we don't know. We as Indians don't know it. I didn't know it. So I hope people realize that the first time the Army, Navy, and Air Force came together to guard us was in 71, and the reason we've called it Border 2 is because of that. So responsibility, yes. Feeling the weight of that responsibility, yes, but not because it's called border, not because border is an emotion, because border will forever be an emotion. It is not something that any film that comes is going to take away from the first one. It's perfection by my father, if I may say so. And I think he taught us patriotism, and he taught us the importance of the armed forces. That's an emotion nobody's ready to touch. I don't want to touch. I don't want to say it. But at the same time, it is still our responsibility, his and mine, that we tell stories of the armed forces, and that's what we're trying to do with this film. And the fact that you're telling real life stories, that itself is pressure.
So when you tell real life stories, there is again a huge responsibility to do justice to the person's contribution. And when we tackle with certain subjects like border 2, permissions are very important. The consent of the person's family. Of course, Hushar Singh Dahiya's family did give their stamp of approval. But what about the rest? Are they
So
based
we've
on yours?
always made it in a certain way. There is a certain way that we 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 know. There's a certain way that he makes movies. My father.
Yeah.
It's not a script that is written and taken to a studio and then you say कि अच्छा हम ये बनाना चाह रहे हैं, आप narration सुन लीजिए, हम बना लेते हैं. No. It is a film, most, I think, apart from Border, where that film was actually made because my chacha, that is Papa's younger brother, was in the Longewala battle. He was part of that squadron. He came back, Dad was in college when Papa wrote it in a rough book. And he kept it away and said, "Ek din agar main producer bana, main ye banaunga." And that's what he did. Apart from Border, it's always been someone from the armed forces that has actually reached out to us and said, "Why don't you do this?" And that's what happened, like I said, about the late CDS, that he gave us these heroes names. And then of course the first thing that my father has always done is that he goes and approaches the families and he speaks to them, because there are two parts of a soldier. One is who he is on the battlefield, the second part is who he is at home. If you don't know both these parts yourself personally, then you can't write about them, you can't make a film on them. So we make it with the army, we make it for the family. So without both of them, we wouldn't make it. So that's how we've done this as well.
Did you all have any army consultant on border to set to guide through the action to.
Yeah, yeah. If we went on set without a liaison officer, my father would not let anybody on that set. Trust me. Trust me. My pressure starts at home. He wouldn't allow it. So, yes, we always had a liaison officer from all three forces on set with us. Always.
Absolutely, that's one of the most important things.
Yes, we also had military advisors on the film. I had General Pannu, who is a retired officer now, but he was with me throughout from the first day that I narrated the film to him up until now. He was looking over everything and made sure that everything was done a certain way. So, yes, without their stamp of approval, not at the end of the film, but during the film, every day, without their stamp of approval, I don't think my father would have allowed me to make this movie.
Has your father seen Border too?
Yes, he has.
What was his reaction?
I'll keep it personal, but to say in a little words that he was extremely emotional. So, yeah, that itself is my Oscar.
Absolutely. Also, after Ghar Kab Aaoge premiered on YouTube, there was a picture that was going viral of Akshaye Khanna. People were saying, "Oh, Akshaye Khanna is back with Border 2." There was a still of an actor who resembles Akshaye Khanna.
Really? Why have I not seen this also? I don't know a lot of things. Sorry, I've just had a baby also during this movie, which is why I'm so removed from a lot of things. But I will see this. No, I haven't seen this still.
So there were rumors that Akshay Khanna is coming back in a cameo or in a special appearance. Is it true?
No, no, it's not true.
Did you reach out to him for the film when you were
No,
making,
no,
bringing back old actors? Maybe Sunil Shetty makes a comeback.
no.
Recently, if you're okay, comfortable talking about it, CBFC has been censoring a lot of films down south. Did you all consult the army members before taking the film to CBFC? Was it completely approved by the army before you all got the censor board?
That's how it always happens. At least that's what my father has always done. It's first the Ministry of Defense that okays the movie, only then do we censor it. I don't know how others do it because there are a lot of other war films that are made on the armed forces and Air Force films and army movies that are made. But for me, my rule book is very clear from my father. We're making it for them, we're making it with them, we take their approval first. That for me, the day that the Ministry of Defense watches the film is the day of the box office for me and my father. For us, that day when their reaction comes is when we know whether we've made a good film or not. And I got my reaction, I think, in the beginning of December. So, yeah.
Was this cast always your vision? Did you see these people?
It was. It really was. Touch wood. I've been very, very lucky that what I thought and who we wanted, and Bhushanji and me were on the same page with each other that this is what we wanted and that's what we got. So we're very, very happy about that.
Speaking of Sunny Deol, he is, when we look at the reactions on social media, people are super excited to see him again in the soldier avatar. How was it working with him? How is he as a person and as an actor? Did you ever feel that Sunny Deol, the person you've seen as a child while you were working on Border, you've seen your father working on the film, to now it's been a quite a long journey.
So, Sunny uncle and I obviously have such a close relationship personally. Not only with him but with the Deol family in general. Like my father says, if it wasn't for Dharamji, Papa wouldn't be a director today because Dharamji was the first actor that my father ever worked with in Gulami. So Gulami wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Dharamji. So they are family. Sunny uncle has been part of our lives and has been part of my childhood, and he was at my wedding, and he's been part of my life, which is why and also this film is not possible without him. I think when I was on set, actually, when Border was made, I was 7 years old. But when this film was made, and the first day when he wore his uniform and he came on to set, I was a full fangirl moment. Full fangirl, oh my god, like anyone who's watched Border, when he walked onto that set, I think the entire set just took a pause and were like, oh my god, like this is crazy. So that's the feeling. Is he a different actor and a different person? Not at all. He's him. He's as natural as it gets. He's as lovely as it gets. He's as gracious and as graceful as it gets. And when that camera switches on, he's magic.
Absolutely, and Sunny Deol seems to be a very emotional person. He did he ever get emotional while making the film?
Yes, I guess every actor goes through his own emotions. I think everyone was going through. I think especially on this film, I think everybody had like Varun had his own emotion about Border One and how he couldn't believe that he was part of this one. I think Ahan was going through his own emotions of, oh my God, like I think he's the only other person who's feeling that the weight of the legacy as much as I am, if not more, because my father was not screaming Ma Shakti, his was. So I can't imagine what his pressure must be like. But yeah, so everyone was having his emotions, and I think Sunny uncle must be having so much nostalgia and so many emotions, even when he must have put on that uniform again. So yes, definitely.
If you're okay talking, did Dharamji see the film?
No, no, it wasn't ready.
Do you all plan to give any tribute to him through the film?
You watched the movie.
If you're okay again, Varun Dhawan's thing is going very viral on social media about his, and kudos to you for taking his side uh, on
I didn't
social
really take
media.
his side, but
That
okay.
is, you stood up
No,
for
I
him.
just I heard that there
Yeah,
are people who can actually pay to bring somebody down, and I don't think people realized the people who are paying, if they are paying, I don't know, but if this is something that people are doing and people can do, I think it's extremely sad because he's not. It's not a biopic of Varun Dhawan. It's the biopic of Major Hoshiar Singh Dahiya. He stood, he fought, and he protected us. I don't think we should be talking about a character that is an actor who's playing that character, someone who's laid down his life for the country, or who has fought for the country, or any of the PVCs. I mean, if an actor is walking in the footsteps of history, how can you bring him down? It's just really, really sad if that has happened. And I think it's extremely, like I said, anti-national. It's an anti-national person who can do that. Otherwise, why would you do that? Because we really are. I don't know if people will understand this. I know everyone that is going to see this interview is going to think I'm saying this for the sake of it, but I don't know if they will understand. My father has literally instilled this in me, that you are safe, you are in your car, you are in school, you are at home because of the guy in Siachen Glacier, because of the guy in the Run of Kutch, where the salt is going into his boots, in Siachen, where the snow is going into his lungs, the ice is getting into his lungs. He has taught me this. This is why we make the movies we make. We make it for them. So if there's anyone who's trying to do anything negative, of course it's a democratic country. Anyone can say anything. Everybody can have their own opinion. Not at all. That's an open domain. Say what you want, but don't try and bring down somebody on purpose. And if there's any paid PR that is going on someone that's playing a PVC, that's just really sad. So
yeah.
that's the only thing I have to say.
And people often are speaking about films like Border, or even films that are patriotic, uh, that celebrate India and Indian forces. There's a term that is going viral called propaganda cinema.
Okay.
Have you, like, when people speak about these propaganda cinema, when filmmakers support Indian soldiers, Indian officers, India, celebrate India as a country, do you think these propaganda term is a bit too much for what we stand for as a
Propaganda
country?
term doesn't apply to the armed forces. They are not part of any propaganda. They are leaving their families, they are leaving their homes to go and protect us. There is nothing called propaganda in it, because imagine, God forbid, if they decide not to. Then the drones
We
that
are,
are coming in from
yeah,
our lovely neighbors every second day would be in this office right now, if it
absolutely,
wasn't for the guys sitting there. So
yeah.
I don't think propaganda is the right word to use for the armed forces. I think that it's the most selfless act for the soldier to be standing there for someone he has never seen or met, you and me, for the families that send them for you and me. And if I don't tell their stories, then I don't think I'm doing justice to this country. And I think anyone who's saying the word propaganda, I would like to ask them, what have you done for your country? So I think that's the question we should all ask each other.
What are the memories of Sandese Aate Hai for you?
So Sandese Aate Hain, I just have literally one memory, because it was my grandfather's birthday
Oh,
when it was being shot, and I was allowed to miss school and go and be there on set. And one day out of that is when they were shooting Sandese. Of course, they shot that song over a few
yeah.
days, but I was on set for that day. And that's actually, which shot, the shot where Puniti sir is on the jeep and Akshay comes and
Yeah.
stands. That's the day I was there. I actually have
Wow.
a picture. So it's crazy. I have a lot of memories, but that memory stays.
How is Sandese or the letter so relevant and validated even in now, even in this current period of digital era, social media? Do you wish to take the audience back in time and celebrate the good old days when people wrote letters
No,
through
I think
this?
for us it was 71 is what we are portraying, so that is how it worked. I remember my dad always says that Dadi used to wait for Deepak Chacha to send his telegram and a letter home to know that he's safe. So yes, it's a very symbolic thing even for my family. And then when you speak about 71, of course you need to talk about the fact that yes, you couldn't FaceTime your loved one.
Yeah.
It's a time that needed to be spoken about. So yeah.
If you had to write a sandesa or a letter to the cast of Border 2, what would you write for each one of them?
For Sunny Uncle, I would say that Border is him and he is Border, and this film is not possible without him. To Varun, I would say I think me and the entire family of Hoshiar Singh will always be indebted to him to bring forth with such authenticity, which you will see when you watch the movie, to bring that character so authentically out to the audiences and to embody Hoshiar Singh the way he has. To Diljit, he has literally been our Sekho. I can't imagine anybody else playing that part the way he has. To Ahan, I would just say that some legacies are worth fighting for and dying for and living for, and I think he's done that with so much grace in this film. And apart from the cast, I think I would say to one more person, and that would be a Sandesa to Bhushanji, who has been the rock of this film. If that man was not standing with me, I don't think I would be standing with this film. So yeah.
Lovely. Also, is Border going to be is going to become a franchise? Another part is coming out. Do you all think of more war stories that are being that are happening out there, but common people don't know about it? There are so many. Do you wish to also delve into that anytime soon?
So I am here to tell stories of the armed forces. My father did it. I will be continuing to do it. Will it be another border that I'm not sure about yet? But if it's relevant, like this one was relevant because it was 71, not because I was trying to make the most of a franchise. If it is relevant, then yes, it will be. Otherwise, we will be telling more stories of the armed forces for sure.
Of course, when we speak of franchise like Border, social media or people are like, will it be as good as Border? Will it live up to the legacy? Does it affect you?
No,
Do you
no,
think that no?
because I think if I had set out to make it for that reason, it would affect me. But it doesn't affect me because if 2 lakh people go into a theater and come out and they know Hoshiar Singh Dahiya and Nirmaljeet Sekhon by name, that for me is a battle won, because that's the reason I made it.
Absolutely. Looking forward to Border 2. Thank you so much, Nidhi, for bringing such films out to the audience and making us feel proud of the Indian Army.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Looking
so much.
forward to it.
Thank you.